Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today, Miss Marcia.
Yes, yes. Hello, good evening, Glenn, and good evening sa mga nanonood. And to everyone who's watching right now, good evening.
Welcome to the show, and thank you very much for joining me here today. And so, what's your reaction when I invited you to the show?
At first, it's a privilege, really, because I've been seeing your post, and it's a very raw way of connecting to the people. There is a lot of things that are being filtered at this social media, but knowing that you have set up this kind of platform for everyone just to be themselves, it's a really good way to be part of the growth of this podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank
Yes.
you very much. And I am very excited for the topic that we will talk about today.
Mhm.
So, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah. So I've been here in Dubai since 2009.
Mm.
So it's been a quite more than a decade now. So it's been 17 years. I've been exploring not just the business, not just about the corporate life, but even how I discovered things not limited on my own understanding, but even to the people around me and whatever I'm going to share to the people. So that 17 years has been a very developing and progressive way of knowing things in my life and to the people.
Wow. Wow. So 17 years. So
Mm-mm.
what is your first job in Dubai?
Yeah, so I've been here for 17 years. So my first job was in the hotel. So
Mm.
I've seen how the customer service
Mm.
is being known here in Dubai because of the tourism. And since then, I realized that I'm a person where I'm I feel connected
Mm.
to the people around, not just only working because I've been paid, but because of the connections of the people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell us something about the sports that you are doing at the moment?
Yeah. At the
Mm.
moment, I'm doing triathlon.
Mm.
So it's a consists of three discipline.
Mm.
It goes with the swimming first, and then biking, finishing with a run. But before, I didn't have any experience at all when it comes to sports. To be honest, because in the Philippines, as we grow, we have that norm in our family that once you finish your studies,
Mm.
you go to work.
Mm.
So I haven't been exposed totally to sports. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to bring us in a summer class, but it's more on the arts where
Mm.
I used to play piano and guitar.
Ay, wow.
So that's another different story of who Marsha is. But that was when I was, I think, 6 or 7.
Mm.
But I didn't find any that love of music or
Mm.
arts, and that has never been now developed to me. So
Mm.
sports has been really new to me since I moved here in Dubai. So that has started 2012, to be honest,
Mm.
because when I came here in Dubai, you're new.
Mm.
So everything is just overwhelming with the development of the city, of the diversity of the people.
Mm.
So as a typical OFW Filipino worker
Mm.
here and way of coping up with homesick
Mm.
and new people, you have to go out. And
Yeah.
majority are in the bar, club,
Mm. Mm.
those happy days.
Mm.
So I've seen how I've been, you know, transformed from being drunkard.
Mm.
Yes, yes, and that's really true. It's never too late for those
Mm.
who had that um, alcoholism or
Mm.
way of being in the community of that environment.
Mm.
So that has a turning point for me to change because I saw that it's not sustainable
Mm.
and the way of of who Marsha is.
Mm.
So I started, exposing myself to the gym,
Mm.
trying to use the facilities because in the building they have
You
this
always have the gym, yeah.
yes, they
Mm.
always have the gym and it's free. So there's no reason for you to to make an excuse.
Mm.
And that has been one of the main reason for me to start doing that kind of habit, showing up in the gym even though there's no one yet
Mm.
around. There's no social media that time. I mean, it's not that really hype compared at this
At the
generation, this
moment,
at the
yeah.
moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So what is
never.
your favorite sports among those three?
Among those three, my favorite is running because
Running.
I really love running, and
Mm.
I feel more relaxed when I do the running.
Do you have any running club or
Yeah.
groups?
So I'm supporting the community of 3F Striders,
Mm.
Filipino International Triathletes,
Mm.
and also I'm part of A6 front runner program.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
and on the side also, I'm now pursuing my coaching and
Mm.
wellness business. So from corporate, I'm now embracing doing this kind of setup of doing it as per my passion with the purpose, of
So how
course.
do you handling all this on the same time?
Yeah, for now, I'm really doing it as per referrals,
Mm.
and my website is still on the process.
Mm.
And I'm excited to share it soon with the viewers of this
We're all
podcast.
excited for this.
Yes, yes. And currently, I'm doing private coaching, a
Mm.
one-to-one, and a small group coaching too. So
Mm.
it depends on the need of the clients.
So
I'm
you coach running, also swimming,
Yes, and
and then
cycling.
cycling.
Yeah.
Mm.
But recently, everyone is keen to know about swimming because of the weather at the moment,
Mm.
and even cycling because majority of what I'm handling right now for the clients, it's the beginners
Mm.
because no one is really have that way of teaching the basic one.
Mm.
Though there are some communities that does it really for free,
Mm.
but of course there's a lot of people around, so they don't get that real attention
Mm.
or
Yeah.
having that
Mm.
focus.
Yeah.
So that's where I saw the gap,
Mm.
and as a woman, I wanted to really raise women to be present in the cycling community, especially in the community here in Dubai and even outside Dubai. I'm open
So do
to.
you only coach women
I
on
wanted
cycling?
to really focus on the women,
Mm. Mm.
but
Mm.
there are some inquiries now
Mm.
for beginners of men.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
currently, I'm having a few women who's really interested because in
Mm.
the cycling community, you will see majority are men.
Yes,
And it's
yes,
kind of
yeah. Mm.
intimidating for women to join.
And yeah, I think also a lot of like women like interest to learn cycling, but as you mentioned, like when they see like a group of men, they're like so intimidating and they feel like not welcome in the group. So I
Yes,
feel like
yes. Correct.
what you're doing now is really good, like to connect to the women cycling community, not cycling community, but in sports in general. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Like from totally zero,
Mm.
no one, if even though you don't know how to really ride the bike,
Mm.
I wanted to be the person to make things right,
Mm.
so that you'll not get a bad habit,
Mm.
and the more you will feel safe and confident when you do your bike handling, and
Mm.
even for swimming as well, because it's a life skills that eventually you can use it when it
Survival.
comes, yes,
Mm.
and
Mm. Mm.
survival. Yeah.
Mm. So, like, is there's any like age group to like, or suggested age group to start like swimming to learn and then cycling? Do you have any like age limit?
Mm. Yeah, for swimming,
Mm.
actually, I have a 9-month-old baby that I'm
Mm.
currently
Oh.
ongoing. Yes, the 9-month-old baby,
Mm.
for a baby swim.
Mm.
So normally, it's introducing them in a very new territory,
Mm.
especially when it comes to crawling. Of
Mm.
course, if someone is not really developing that stage of crawling,
Mm.
swimming is a really good way for them to
Mm.
start doing that crawling, but in a very confined and very safe way. So I do that. That's the youngest swimmer
Mm.
that I'm
Wow.
currently
9
teaching.
months old.
Yes,
Mm.
9-month-old, and everyone is welcome, all levels,
Mm.
especially The oldest, as far as I remember, was 54.
Mm.
Yes, that's the oldest swimmer that I had 2 years ago.
Mm.
And for cycling, everyone is welcome actually. No age restrictions. As long as you're open-minded and
Mm.
you're willing to learn,
Mm.
age wouldn't be a big factor into learning because it's a skill. So as long as you're really keen to know and develop that skill.
So when do you normally go for cycling ride? What
I'm very
which day?
flexible when it comes to scheduling
Mm.
my coaching, even
Mm.
though it's private or small group. It's way of communicating whatever makes the client and
Mm.
even for myself be um, comfortable.
Mm.
So I always prefer them to have it in the morning because of the weather. And at the same time, it's better to start for yourself
Mm.
before doing stuff for work and for family because you'll be busy and you'll forget yourself.
Yes.
And
Correct.
knowing
Mm.
that you're prioritizing yourself, you have to make it,
Mm.
first thing for yourself, doing those habit and new
Wow.
skills.
So when you decided to become a coach, what the learnings or what certification or what the process? Maybe some of the viewer also like planning or yeah planning to be a coach or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your like advice to them?
Yeah. First was I was just really keen on
Mm.
knowing what I do
Mm.
because I've been doing triathlon for 10 years
Mm.
since I started it 2016 and now it's
Ooh.
2026, 10 years. Yes. It's a
10
big
years.
numbers having two digits now
Mm.
in a sport industry and in this kind of lifestyle.
Mm.
So within that time, I have developed already the questionings
Mm.
of how does it work, what makes it more efficient. So
Mm.
from that curiosity gave me that edge
Mm.
to know more. And I took my first certification 2022
Mm.
for international certified personal trainer,
Mm.
which is in National Academy of Sports Medicine
Mm.
NASM through Mefit Pro Fitness Industry here. It's a
Mm.
3 months program
Okay.
where really you will know that fitness is not just about wearing your socks,
Mm.
or putting some swimsuit.
Mm.
There's a lot of factors to understand to fall in love in the sport. So it makes me excited and kind of nervous because you go back again to studying, and after you graduated, you go and practice it through work. So it's been a very challenging memorization of the body parts,
Mm.
anatomy, and even psychologically, of
Like nursing,
course.
huh?
Yes, like those deltoids, your scapula, that
Uh-huh.
before you were just only seeing it in the frog when you were in when you were in your study. But yeah, it's really cool to know. It's really cool to know, and it's very humbling that um, sports and fitness wellness, I gained a lot of respect to all the trainers, coaches, and even industry when you put yourself into that kind of learning. So I got that certification, and I got also the Swim America for Learn to Swim
Mm.
program. So it's almost 1.5 month of learning how to gauge the
Mm.
clients and even how to properly educate them in a very understanding approach
Mm.
of swimming. And now I'm thinking also of getting certification for cycling
Okay.
because apparently there's a proper certification for cycling if you really wanted to
To
uh,
the coach.
do the coaching,
Mm.
in a sense that it will also develop that respect for the client and even for
Okay.
yourself, that
Mm.
you're teaching not because only of your experience but because as per the regulations and as per how it should be taught.
Mm.
So that is through the UCI. I forgot number yung UCI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see,
it's
I.
UCI, and with the UAE Federation. So hopefully I could get that certification soon,
Mm.
and I would lovely to share the way of cycling from beginners to intermediate, because
Wow.
there's a certain level of cycling coaching.
So when you said like you have like 10 years of triathlete
Yes, the
tri-
triathlon experience, I have it.
triathlon experience.
Yeah.
So what is your biggest motivation?
Um, to be honest, the reason for me to do that long years of triathlon, and till now I'm looking for that 10th year activity, or that to commemorate my 10th year being a triathlete. I think the journey of knowing about yourself, really, it gives it sounds ironically, um, in a sense of you're during you're in pain, or you're in a very hard situation, but still in the end you feel joy. So it's kind of it doesn't go along, if you're gonna really think of it, but once you go through that process, the discipline, the commitment, the um, confidence, the resilience, actually, that there's more that you can achieve when you put yourself into uncertainties, especially in triathlon, because it's three discipline. You'll never know what will happen, but you have to make sure that you're ready. So training itself it's really hard, and during the race, it's just gonna be a celebration. So I think it's more on a self development that motivated me to excel, because I saw the difference of who I am before, and it gives that cringe of I want more. Yeah.
Sounds really motivating. So can you like tell us your first experience on your like first Ironman? How was it? Like, what's your experience?
That's really a very memorable one, because I wanted to start my first triathlon in the country where I was born. So that is in the Philippines, and it's a very prestigious event in Cebu. That was 2016. Imagine you're swimming in Shangri-La, and it's free because that's where the venue. So all the facilities are being opened for the athletes, and even for the volunteers and supporters. So that's really overwhelming, and a very good place to start the 70.3 for me. So it's really like a aquarium when you swim on Cebu, especially in that area in Shangri-La. It's really really perfect for someone who's gonna do the first Ironman. It's just like a big aquarium where you will swim really with fishes,
Wow.
different kind of fishes, and there's corals. You're just gonna wait for some what's this sound that gonna make you feel more enjoyable, not just because you're doing the swimming. It's really good of way more relaxed. Yeah. So that's really really memorable for me. My first Ironman, 70.3 in Cebu. Yeah, and I finished. In fairness, having my first, that's the very nerve wracking experience for me, because it's a combination now of all those discipline, from swimming, biking, and running. I finished it for 6 hours, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time, and ended up seventh place in my age category.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's where I really had the another motivation, actually. Like,
To make it
oh,
faster.
now, yes, oh, really? I made it on the seventh.
Uh,
So what more if I'm gonna be serious or train more?
so what is your fastest
The
race?
fastest race that I did was in Turkey. So that was 2018 in Turkey, Antalya. I finished it for 5 hours and 35 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I have to get back with that. But yeah, roughly that one. And it's really fast, because for someone who's doing an Ironman 70.3, just for the viewers to know, it's 70.3 is 70.3 miles. So if you're gonna convert that one into kilometers, for each discipline, it's gonna be 1.9 kilometer swim with the cutoff time of 70 minutes. So
Okay.
imagine 70 minutes. And then the cycling, it's 90 kilometers with the combination of cycling and swimming, you should have at least reached the endpoint of biking for 5 hours, because the running will be the last and the challenging part, because you have to finish it with total of 8 hours. So if you've reached all the cutoff time and the running of 21 kilometers, you have to be finishing it by 3 hours or less than, just to be on the cutoff time. So it's really power distribution and a technique to make sure that you're not gonna be drained on your running, and you're not gonna be hungry on your biking. But and definitely you have to survive the swimming.
I think it comes on my follow up question about like, so what are you aiming for now? You're training a lot of students. Are you aiming them to be also competitive as well, or you train them to be like sporty or just healthy, or
Mm,
which
yeah.
where you want to bring
Yeah.
them?
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
good point. Yes. It depends. It depends on those people that I'm coaching and my friends and even the community that I belong to. Every person has its different goal and its purpose while they do this discipline of swim, bike, and run, and even you do your hiking or whatever makes your body active. So it depends on them. But what I'm really trying to impress to this kind of journey, while they're under my umbrella of coaching with my heart of service, when you want to put yourself first above others in your family and even to your community, is that 1% is better than nothing. So showing up when it comes to training, it's a big deal, and you will develop yourself. I want them to really embrace that openness of greatness in themselves. That's why I always have that uh, hashtag or way of promoting "be at your best," because no one will cheer you up but yourself first. You have to acknowledge that you wanted to be your best, and the people around you will definitely feel that energy and even that enthusiasm, and you will be connected. And being in this coaching industry now, I wanted that even the audience, if you feel that no one is being around you, and you feel so low or intimidated, that's the reason why I was here, to make sure that someone will believe in you, and you just have to be honest on what's the goal, and we'll definitely work out on it. Yeah.
I think you already answered my next question, because my next question is, why do you think the students or other kids wants to learn will choose you? Why do you think they will choose you? So
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like you already answered the question.
yeah.
So, and then my next question is, what's the name of your brand?
Yeah, I call it Beyond Movement. Yes, that's the community or the coaching brand that I chose to. At first, there's a lot of combinations of names, a lot of things that's going on. But when I started loving that two words, beyond movement, it's a statement that it's up to you on how to do it, on how to complete. Beyond movement in wellness, beyond movement in life, beyond movement in mental health. So it's a lot of aspect you can connect with that word beyond movement, because when you move, like how the ASICs always impress and have that very prominent tagline: sound mind, sound body. Move your mind, move your body. So when you believe that you can do beyond on your movement, things happen in good way. So it's just like a ripple effect. Once you start, it just go flow. So it's a continuous way of knowing what you can do as a person when you move, when you go beyond what you think. And the people, even myself, will be a testimony of it. coming from someone who doesn't have any background at all
Mm.
in sports, and knowing that there's still beyond on things that I'm doing right now. It's very very fulfilling,
Mm.
very fulfilling. Though it's kind of scary and way of questioning, am I on the right path right
Mm.
now? Why would I give up my stable life
Mm.
of doing in corporate? But everyone has its own calling,
Mm.
and I find it more purpose in this way of connecting with people, not just because of earning or coaching, but
Mm.
it's one way of them showing that there's still more
Mm.
way of you to know yourself in sports, when it comes to sports, when it comes to movement,
Mm.
because once you're really aligned on who you are, everything will just follow. You'll have a good what's this confidence,
Mm.
your family will feel it, your community will just draw closer to you, you'll have a good work etiquette,
Mm.
everything will just gonna be aligned, at least based on how you make yourself known of what you really wanted,
Mm.
and
Wow.
it's through sports.
So,
Oh
what
my
is
god.
your mission as the owner of this brand, and you as the sport advocacy?
Mm. To be honest, it's overwhelming at the beginning when I had to really start on my passion. But eventually I realized passion is just like goes with your emotions.
Mm.
So I preferably wanted to do it by a purpose.
Mm.
So my purpose and my main advocacy to this is you just have to really show up when it comes to yourself,
Mm.
and make myself available to those who really need it, because in the end you cannot just give to everyone, especially if they're not willing to learn.
Mm.
So your energy, it's depleting also. You have to you have to find the right people around you. You have to be available with those people who are really in need and
Mm.
are ready. So that's where my service and my way of embracing these changes in my life, to give it to the people who are really in need, not just to those people who are just there without getting that value first of, oh, I need to change,
Mm.
I need to do something else. Once you start realizing it
Mm.
and acknowledging that you need help, that's where I start to come, and that's where I always make sure that everyone is welcome.
Mm.
So I make sure it's not kind of filtered way of coaching or reaching people, but I'm very intentional. If I see you that you can improve more, I come to you, check if you're willing to progress.
Mm.
Otherwise, I make sure that my availability, if someone is kind of hesitant or intimidating in other groups, or
Mm.
from themselves, my social media is always open. It's public, of course, so that everyone can see the um, flow of the business, and even for myself.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm just making sure that I'm available. Yeah.
Wow. Is there's any time that you feel like questioning yourself, like why I am doing this, why I have to do this? Is there's any like time like this that you experience?
Yes, yes, of course, yeah. That life is not all ups. There's downs, there's a roller coaster feeling. Sometimes, of course, you break down, especially when you feel that kind of disappointment to the people. Of course, they have their own battle, they have their own life, and even for myself also. So when it comes to that time where I'm not really motivated,
Mm.
or I'm not really ready to face my client, or even the people around, I just make sure that I have that moment of at least an hour or two
Mm.
silence,
Mm.
like thinking nothing at all, nothing. I go out, I walk, without any plan what time should I open my phone.
Mm.
But I make sure that once I feel within an hour or two, I feel it within that range that I'm kind of ready to embrace it. So I
Mm.
give a pause, like a pause of not thinking anything at all,
Mm.
like the way of the Italian is saying, or yeah, the Italian saying about of um, not thinking at all, the art of not thinking at
Mm.
all. Yes, yes. So from there, I take a deep breath,
Mm.
I do meditation,
Mm.
and at the same time, I ask myself and reflect, like, Lord, check my heart. If I
Mm.
cannot hear anymore who I am,
Mm.
please let me remember. And that's just like a kind of very spiritual way
Mm.
of doing it, but really it really works for me when things are not really doing well, and if you feel so exhausted, that momentum will come back and get things perfect in how you deal with life.
Wow. So you're like really into sports. So why do you think the people who don't know any sports or don't do any sports, why do you think they have to learn something, or why do you think they need to start to do some sports?
Yeah, because it's very fulfilling way
Mm.
other than arts, of course. So
Mm.
if you're not really into arts, you have that option to be in that sports area, where even walking is
Mm.
part of a sport, or doing yoga, it's a sport. So not definitely swim, bike, run, but anything that makes sure your body is moving apart from just sitting and sleeping, of course. Yeah, it gives that kind of serotonin, or sorry, that endorphin. It's a good hormones that being created when you're doing sports, when you're moving your body. It's I mean, it's scientifically proven. So data will not lie. So when you do that, even 30 minutes of walking or jogging, a solid 30 minutes at least with the pause a little, there will be a endorphin effect where our what's this, our body will have after that training. So it's really good to really try it. If it's not really your way of seeing the effect, but it's scientifically proven, and I can testify. Yeah, it's a really good way of knowing yourself more than anything else. Yeah.
Wow. And what can you say about like since now Dubai is like also introducing a lot of sports. So what is your thoughts on this? Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like now Dubai is in also investing a lot of sports and also like health awareness thing. So
So they're really developing, not just because of what's infrastructures they're giving to the investors, but making sure the expats and tourists to be a place to do it safely here in Dubai. So I've seen that they're expanding the cycling track, and there are some parks that has been developed indoor, especially at this weather. So you'll be amazed on how Dubai and UAE, to be honest, are capable to do those stuff, because in the Philippines it's very hard to to do the swim, bike, run, or doing the yoga or pilates, because it's very expensive, but in reality it depends on the government. So yes, I love the Philippines. Oh, sorry, I love Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah, I love UAE.
And then this question, I don't know, I feel like this one is very confidential. Is it is it real that triathlon is very expensive sports?
It depends on your budget. Yes. But you don't need to be pressure if someone is having a carbon bike, or someone is having a um, what's this wetsuit that is
Mm.
very expensive.
Mm.
It's all about the performance. Some are just really gifted
Mm.
and privileged to buy those stuff. But on my first triathlon, it's a borrowed bike.
Mm.
And I am not even buying yet that time because I don't know if that will be my sport eventually. I don't want to invest with that thousands and
Mm.
within a month or two I don't want anymore. So I can suggest and I highly recommend to everyone to just rent a bike,
Mm.
and eventually once you get the hang of it, once you get all the discipline, you get the second hand.
Mm.
If you're really budgeted, get the second hand, ask someone in your community, or there's a lot of social media that you
Mm.
can see someone is selling it in a very good price. And next will be your first bike, like first proper bike. Yes. And everything goes because that the most expensive one is the cycling, because cycling is gonna cost you about almost three-fourth of how you're gonna spend in your
Mm.
triathlon swim bike run budget. Swimming, you just have to get your goggles, your swimming cap, and your your swimsuit.
But the wetsuit is also very
Wetsuit,
expensive, right?
it's optional. It
Mm.
depends on the
Mm.
race course. But there are also rentals now for the wetsuit. But
Mm.
of course, if you're hygienic, you really wanted to have your own, of course, you'll
Yeah.
never know who peed on the
Mm.
wetsuit, because that's also one of the reality of a
Uh,
triathlete. They pee on their
mm.
wetsuit, and I do it. Sorry guys,
Mm.
yes, I do it
It's
just to
normal.
make things,
Mm.
yes, make things warm and comfortable,
Mm.
especially in the cold swimming of river or lake, and even for open water in the
Mm.
ocean. Yeah. Yeah. And running, you just have to get your proper shoes. If you're really, like what I said, you have a budget or you're privileged to buy, then
Mm.
the carbon, yes, of course, it makes a difference. Yeah. It's just like having, it's either your choice of Nissan or Ferrari. Yes. So, but both are gonna bring you to the stoplight.
Mm. Yeah,
Both are gonna
correct.
bring you on the
Mm-mm.
finish line. So, it's a matter of
So
your
guys, yeah,
budget.
just
Yes.
listen. Don't spend don't waste your money.
Yeah.
And how we can like reach you?
Yeah. You can reach me on my Instagram.
Mm.
So it's under Beyond Movement, or you can go directly to my Instagram,
Mm.
Marsha Y, and I have my Facebook too. It's Marsha,
We'll tag
and
we'll tag her.
yes,
Mm. So the last question is, if I'm gonna give you a chance to ask me one question, what is it?
within. Do you see yourself 5 years from now doing this podcast, this
I think
social
so.
media?
I think so.
Ah, cool.
So I don't, no, because I feel like when I started this show, so it's like me taking a challenge for myself, and I feel like, okay, I'll do it. I'll try. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I want to do it more.
Yeah. So
Thank,
we'll see you more of this
inshallah.
activities. Yes, inshallah, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Marchi.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time, and yeah,